Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today on this very rainy day I thought I would come on and share with you something that I read actually. So the other day I was reading this thing. It was on my phone somewhere, and basically what it was saying is, I know that maybe some of you will have heard the likes of, there was a KFC worker that shared the recipe for something and how they do things, and he got sacked. And this other girl has come on and explained things that we all kind of know, like if you want a fresh batch of chips, you ask for no salt because they always salt all their chips straight away. So if you know you want them hot and fresh, then always ask for without salt. And you'll always get hot chips. But what she did share was, she was a drive-through worker, and what she shared, much to my sort of horror, was that, you know, when you drive up to your drive-through and there's sensors there. Now, when I drive up, I am not going to lie, I am human, I have issues just like everybody else. And drive-throughs, that I'm a nightmare with drive-through, right? Basically, what happens is I always pick the wrong lane. I don't know about you, but I always pick the wrong lane, and I kind of try and judge it, like, right, okay, is that one got lots of people in the car? Okay, will they be ordering like 50 Happy Meals, or will it just be a one person in the car? So I always tend to sort of stay behind. And if for some reason, well, every time, I'm not going to lie, I end up behind the person that's ordering, as I said, about 50 Happy Meals and taking them all home. And I'm so impatient. I am not going to lie, I am so impatient. So what happens is, apparently, when you come up to the sensors, the other person and the other one, always happens to me, you know, you wait for the person to come on and speak. And a lot of the time, the person on the other one that has, like, literally, I've been waiting for my person to ask me for my order. The other one will then, a car will drive in and they'll get taken straight away. And instantly I'm like, wait a minute, I was here first. So I will mouth that. I am never mean or, you know, to the people that are doing it, but I'll say something like, oh great, I was here first, you know, and they're getting ordered or whatever. Little did I know that actually they can hear you. So this is something that I really kind of stopped and thought about, because although nobody's speaking to me, they can actually hear me. So she was sharing how, you know, obviously people have been really mean and disrespectful, etc. And I thought, you know, if that was me, and if there was an actual person sat there at the booth, would I turn around and be like, well, excuse me, like, well, not even excuse me, it would be like, oh, I was here first, you know, like, wait a minute, you know, this is fairness here, you know, serve me first, I was here first. And it really made me think, actually, the amount of times that if that had been the case and that person heard me, I would be the first person to be like, oh, I'm really sorry, and I'd want to say sorry to them, because they would have heard me, but you know, if they actually had heard me, I would actually say sorry. And yeah, so it really made me think, you know, like, I was unaware that they could hear, but actually now that I'm aware that they could hear, it is actually going to change my behaviour. Hence the reason yesterday I went through to get my daughter some chips on the way home, and I was aware and I clocked where the sensors were. Not that it would make any difference, but like, I realised, I thought, oh wow, yeah, they are there. And actually, although it's silent on the thing, they can actually hear you. And I thought, well, that's really changed my thinking on knowing that they can hear me, has altered the way that I actually think about things. And whether or not I would turn around and be like, oh, typical, and like, murmur and complain that I wasn't being served and all this kind of malarkey. And it really made me think about how God must feel. Like, how does God feel? Like, a lot of the time, we'll respond and think later. Well, I certainly will. I'll say something, and then actually, because I can't physically see God, if it's something really bad, I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, Lord, I shouldn't have said that, and I'll be very aware, convicted. But there's a lot of things that, just slip by the wayside, and how, just like that worker that can hear all these comments, God can hear and God sees everything. And I was looking through, and I was just trying to find some sort of verses that would go with this. In Jeremiah 16:17, it says, "For my eyes are on all their ways. They are not hidden from me, nor is their iniquity concealed from my eyes." And then in Psalm 44:21, it says, "Would God not discover this? For he knows the secrets of my heart." In other words, I can try and hide things, and we can try and hide things, but ultimately God knows, God sees us. And actually, I think it's kind of like Big Brother. It's like, he's always there, he's always watching, but not to be a, rod in hand and discipline us, but actually because he wants us to be the very best of who we are, and he wants the best of us, but also because we are representing God. Now, fear not, there is help at hand. In Psalm 147 verse 5, it says, "Great is the Lord and abundant in power. His understanding is beyond measure." In other words, that doesn't mean that, we can act whatever way we want and God will just let it go. He will be hurt by the way that we conduct ourselves if we conduct ourselves wrongly. But it's not like one strike and you're out. So great is the Lord and abundant in power. His understanding is beyond measure. So in other words, of course it hurts him. Of course he doesn't want us to do that. But in Philippians 4:13, it says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." So like I've said, week in, week out, God has given us this toolbox, and it's up to us whether or not we are going to just carry on, in a sense, failing or sort of tripping up at things like what comes out our mouth, about what we do with our time. There comes a point where we really have to be responsible for our own actions. Okay, in other words, yes, God does understand, and God has an abundant, what does it say? Abundant in power, and his understanding is beyond measure. Like, for us, we'd be like, right, that's it, I'm done. But actually, God has this like unlimited measure of just how much he will forgive us. And so I just want to come on. This is a really short one again. I just want to challenge you. Number one, next time you go to McDonald's, just think they can hear you. But actually, think, how many times have you said something, whether it be behind somebody's back, whether it be even in church, and you're sat there and you think a thought inside your head. How many times have we done that? And we've not really been convicted about it. But just think, God's heart's breaking at that. His heart is breaking. He can hear it and he can see it, whether it's said or unsaid, whether it's seen or unseen. God sees everything. Okay, so "For my eyes are on all their ways. They are not hidden from me, nor is their iniquity concealed from my eyes." And that is like, whoa. And that's not a whoa as in that's like a, oh dear, I'm done for. That's a good thing, because even if you've got a teacher at school and your teacher's you know, if there's an adult or a teacher in the class, you used to behave. Well, sometimes used to behave, or you know, it was that you could see the teacher, so there was that bit of, right, I better do the right thing. But actually God is saying, I can see you anyway. I can see everything you think. I can see everything you say. I can see everything you do. And so just like those workers at McDonald's that can actually hear what you're saying, even though you don't think they can or didn't know they could, that still hurts them. And it's likewise with God. What God sees still hurts him. So let's use the toolbox, as I keep saying, that we've got. The toolbox of grace, the toolbox that actually, you know, we are forgiven, but we need to come constantly and ask, you know, for this forgiveness. And let's just thank him, you know, thank him that we are able to do that. But let's say sorry, you know, like if the worker had actually made a comment, you know, like if I've never said anything really bad, but I just mean, you know, like if I was impatient or whatever. And I always say, have a good day. But that's not the point. You know, there's no point in actually, and that isn't really important actually. If you think about it, I'm driving up and I'm impatient. That's not okay. Yes, there's an understanding of why I'm impatient. And yes, there's the understanding of why I respond the way I do, but it's still not okay. And for me then, knowing or thinking I wasn't being heard, to then go and act all nicey and say, and my daughters and I, we always say, have a nice day, have a good day. Every time we leave a till person it's just something we're trying to do with every single person we contact. But how double standards that? So yeah, it really, really made me think. So I just want to encourage you, think. Ask God to fill you with His Spirit. Ask God to help you in all the different things that you do every day, and He will. It's about a daily walk with God, and He wants to come and He wants to fill you, He wants to equip you, but you need to ask. You know, if I want a packed lunch when I was younger, I would have to ask for it. It's not just going to materially like magically appear. If I want something, I need to ask for it. And it's the same with us. If we want God to help us, we need to ask Him to help us. Okay, so I was just really challenged by that. I was mortified as well, I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh gosh, they're able, and you know, obviously I'm not that, like, it's not that I've ever said anything really bad, but I have been impatient. I have been like, oh, for Pete's sake, this is not okay, and hurry up, and all those kind of things, you know, if I was in a hurry, and that's really not okay. So I just want us to really sort of think, but have that in your mind, not just about drive-throughs, but, you know, just the fact that actually God can see and God can hear, and yeah, and it hurts Him. I'm sure it must hurt Him. Anyway, on this rainy day, I'll roll my R's and say I will see you later. Have a good week. And yeah, just I hope that penetrates and sort of stays in your head. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Press that little thumbs up button on your phone. Yeah, that'd be great. And if you haven't already, if you want to subscribe, that would be amazing. If you want to leave a comment, or if that's challenged you, feel free to make a comment. We'll get a conversation going. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. So a little, just think about that. Okay, take care guys. Love you. Bye.